Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a seriously concerning scenario, a potential nuclear conflict between the US and China over Taiwan. Could it happen? What would it look like? And most importantly, who, if anyone, could win? A recent simulation by the Center for a New American Security, or CNAS, paints a chilling picture. Let's break it down. The CNAS war game imagined a conflict in 2032. After 45 days of intense conventional fighting over Taiwan, China might consider using what are called theater nuclear weapons. These aren't the massive city-destroying bombs you might be thinking of. These are shorter-range, lower-yield weapons. The simulation suggests China might use them to try and force the US to back down. Think targeting key military assets like Guam, Kwajalein Atoll, or even a US aircraft carrier group. The goal? To inflict enough pain to make the US decide that defending Taiwan isn't worth the risk of further escalation. Now let's talk firepower. The US currently has a larger and more diverse nuclear arsenal. It's got the nuclear triad land-based missiles, submarine-launched missiles, and bombers. This gives the US a strong second strike capability, meaning it can retaliate even after being hit first. China's nuclear force has historically been smaller and focused on simply deterring an attack. But that's changing fast. China is rapidly expanding and modernizing its nuclear forces. They're building more missiles, improving their submarines, and constructing new missile silos. By 2030, they're projected to have around 1,000 nuclear warheads. Here's where things get really tricky. The simulation found that a long, drawn-out conflict over Taiwan makes China more likely to consider using nuclear weapons, even though they officially have a no-first-use policy. If China launches a limited nuclear strike, the US would face a huge decision. Does the US respond with its own nuclear weapons, risking a full-scale nuclear war? Or does it try to de-escalate, potentially abandoning Taiwan? The simulation showed that US decision-makers might not agree on the best course of action. The US faces some serious challenges in this scenario. Many US military targets are located in Asia, making them vulnerable to Chinese strikes. Also, unlike Russia, the US doesn't have nuclear-tipped anti-ship missiles anymore, which limits its options. What about US allies like Japan and Australia? China might try to use nuclear threats to pressure them into staying out of the conflict. This would test the strength of US alliances and make it harder to form a united front. So, what can be done? The CNAS report makes some key recommendations. Educate US leaders, pursue dialogue with China, strengthen alliances, and improve US capabilities. Ultimately, the goal is to deter China from ever considering nuclear war. This means clear communication, strong alliances, and a credible US military presence in the region. The possibility of nuclear war is terrifying, but by understanding the risks and taking proactive steps, we can hopefully prevent this nightmare scenario from ever becoming a reality. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this complex issue? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of global security issues.